Are you lost in the chaos of today's society? If all you need is a daily dose of quick updates on social matters around you, then look no further and tune into The Far Side, an 8-minute social inquiry podcast by English Club of Foreign Trade University. Strap in and get yourselves ready to look at the world from a whole new perspective. And it all starts right now.
Hello and welcome back to another installment of The Far Side. I am Maya, and joining me is a familiar face from the first episode of our podcast, Jack, aka Tuấn.
Hello, everyone, and hello, Maya. So it's great to be back. And last week, you heard our take on the topics of anonymity and how it contributes to some infamous trends online, like the cancel culture or cyberbullying.
But even on the internet, not all trends are bad, the same way as not all trends are good, right?
Totally. And speaking of trends, so Maya, have you ever tried to create something new or imitate a certain trend on social networks?
Oh, yes, I did. That's very easy. Not long ago, I used to imitate a social media trend which is so popular on TikTok. It attracted millions of reactions and
Wow.
thousands of people tried to copy it in their own videos. It was the trend of what I eat in a day that promoted eating clean and taking on low calorie food. My aim was to consume a total of 900 calories per day, and
Wait,
keeping fit has never felt so easy.
hold on. 900 calories in a day? That cannot be healthy for you. If I remember correctly, that is far from being enough for your body to function productively.
Wait, for real? Now you
Yeah,
tell me. If I had known any better, I wouldn't have wasted all that time recording those TikTok videos. I think it was because being stuck in quarantine got me so bored
aren't
that
we
I
all?
tried that I tried out the trend for myself. I mean, at first, it also seemed like quite a healthy thing to do.
You know, when that trend just started to gain attention, a lot of people had the same idea. Those videos that spread like wildfire. It seemed like everyone and their mother were following those trends.
Can't argue with you there. Now that I realize, I think myself and other trend followers were too gullible. Perhaps even if a trend is positive or popular, that doesn't mean it's always true, isn't it?
Obviously. And do you know why trends don't last that long? It's because they only reflect very small aspects, and sometimes an even smaller pool of audience. So, to certain people, it may be true, but to others, it can be the opposite, or even outright negative in worst cases.
I have never thought of trends that way. By the way, you said earlier that this trend could have serious health consequences. Can you be more specific?
As far as I'm aware, following an unscientific diet can lead to a rather serious illness called eating disorder. And this is especially true among young people like ourselves.
That sounds really serious. Does the illness also mess with your eating habit and digestion?
It's not that simple. Eating disorders are actually mental illnesses that seriously disturb your everyday diet. Some of the most common eating disorders are anorexia, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorder.
Oh, actually, I know the first one, as I did
Oh, you
research
do?
on it not long ago. So, anorexia or anorexia nervosa to be precise, it involves self-starvation and excessive weight loss. So basically the patients tend to be afraid of gaining weight and are obsessed with their images and really do go to the extreme to maintain the best appearance, even if that means risking their health.
Exactly. In the second one, bulimia, well, you can call it the exact opposite. Specifically, people consume a very large amount of food on a regular basis, and more often than not, they lose complete control over their diet.
But the worst part, I think, are the compensatory behaviors. Because afterwards, those people often feel guilty and resolve to self induce vomiting or over exercising. all in an effort to get food out of their system.
You're right. And binge eating is more or less similar to that without the compensatory part.
The way I see it, some people are just obsessed with their outside appearance and they are just willing to pay the price for their overall well being. And if they don't receive the medical treatment, I think these disorders can become fatal.
Well, that goes without saying. But I think people need to start looking at not only eating disorders, but also trends more seriously. Because it's easy to misjudge trends as something inconsequential and insignificant.
And in this case, eating disorders are complex and real biopsychosocial diseases that can seriously damage the physical, mental health, and even relationships. You can't call them fads or trends either because they are real mental illnesses that many people, especially young people, are fighting daily to overcome.
Yeah, but look at the bright side. There are many celebrities leading positive trends like Taylor Swift, and following her fight to go back to her normal eating habits is very inspirational. But there are also many content creators out there taking matters into their own hands.
Oh, there is also the case of Brittany Lancaster, an influencer who gained popularity on the app TikTok by sharing her videos of what I eat in a day in recovery from an eating disorder. That is just amazing, because what she is trying to do is spreading awareness and motivating young people simultaneously.
Yeah, and as much as I want to keep praising these positive trends, I think changes must come from within ourselves.
Indeed, and I cannot stress enough the fact that trends can be popular, but that doesn't mean it's true to you and you should never use them as means to judge yourself. In the same way as many people view online celebrities or models as an ideal target to strive for.
I mean, I totally get people's tendency to imitate beauty. I think your case is no exception, Maya. But there's a quote that I always keep in mind as a personal reminder. Remember who you really are, and remember, no one is perfect. Because, yeah, no one is perfect, and we should learn to accept ourselves for who we truly are.
And this is true for all trends, not just this one, don't you think? We can't just
Yeah,
judge trends solely based on the positive meaning they convey, because no matter how positive they are, that is just the tip of the iceberg.
well, it's even more important to keep a cold head, avoid being driven by public opinion and selective information, and do enough research before you trust online trends, and intend to try that for yourself.
Yeah, in addition, the government and companies are also responsible. Strong sanctions from the government are needed to deal with and deter false information, while social media companies like Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and so on need to have tight control over the users' upload and quickly stop the false content from spreading to ensure a healthy network space for users.
And that's true. And also, that about wraps up today's episode. So before we end it, do keep in mind that what seems positive at first glance may not be in the long run.
So be considerate, cautious, and if you can, try to take internet trends with a pinch of salt. Again, I am Maya.
And I'm Jack. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
And that is it for this episode. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy what we do here, visit our Facebook fan pages, English Club of Foreign Trade University, and Mastermind, English Social Inquiry Contest, for regular updates, and we would love to hear your take on the matters we just discussed. A quick reminder, new episodes come out every Monday and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on Google, Apple Podcast, and even Spotify. So make sure not to miss it. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next episode.